Hello students, welcome to this video. In last video we have learned how to create form in Composer and we have learned also CSS, Cascade Style Sheet. This time I am going to make you introduce with JavaScript. So in this video I am going to explain you the theory of JavaScript. First we will see the concept of JavaScript and how is it helpful in making the web designing more dynamic. Okay, shall we start? Children, you know web designing consists of basically HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, HTML is a language for describing web pages. It is hypertext markup language. It's not a programming language, it is a markup language. A markup language means a set of markup text. Children, JavaScript is a scripting language. It's called as a scripting language. This is actually dynamic web pages requires user input and structure web pages which contents dynamically. It is an interpreted programming language and it's an object-oriented programming language and event-driven. Okay, events are to be handled in JavaScript, which we learn later. Okay, we go now. Introduction to JavaScript. HTML was originally used to control the appearance of web pages. Web pages were controlled by HTML language. The web pages designed using HTML were static and could not be changed after the browser rendered them. They were totally not dynamic, they were completely static, dull. However, with the growth of internet, people demanded the websites to have greater interactivity and better visual designs. And HTML could only provide static, simple, dull web pages. Thus, the demand of more interactivity created the need for a new web programming language. So, Netscape Navigator developed JavaScript. JavaScript is a scripting language that allows you to add programming aspects to your web pages. A scripting language is a simple, lightweight programming language that does not contain the advanced programming functionalities of language like C, Java, and JavaScript is used in web pages to improve the design and validate the forms. Validate the forms means filling the forms, interactivity of the form. Validation in the form means, children, if you have to put 8 characters for the name and you are going to put 7, it stops you and asks you to fill 8 characters. That is validate the form, and it adds interactivity to HTML pages and it is directly inserted directly into the HTML code. Understood, children? Today, mostly all the web browsers like Mozilla Firefox, Chrome, Safari and Internet Explorer support JavaScript. Using JavaScript, a web page no longer remains static, but can include coding that allows interactivity with the user, control the browser dynamically, create HTML content. We learned how to create form using Composer. When the user enters data in the form, he might leave some of the important fields empty or may enter the data in wrong format inside the field. In such cases, there must be some type of validation provided, control provided. This validation will restrict user from making mistakes. As HTML create static web page, there is no change in the activities done by the user like movement of the mouse, input process or submit the form, etc. etc. There is no change in the static web page, while as JavaScript is dynamic, necessary changes can be done in the original page. There is no change in static page while loading or during the display of the program. For example, if we want to display today's state on web page, it is not possible in HTML made programming. Previously, triple W, www was used only for for give and take data, but today it is used for entertainment, knowledge, business. Means internet is used for so many activities. This is why web page should be impressive and more interactive, while static web page is not very interactive. So we needed JavaScript. So we can input data in form created in HTML, but cannot process this data. For processing data, programming language is required. Computer program make the page more interactive. If some elements are lacking in HTML, they are programming elements. By using JavaScript with HTML, its capacity can be increased, which help us to create dynamic, interactive, impressive, informative web pages. Remember this, when the user enter wrong data or leave a field empty, an error message should be generated and form should not be submitted. The form all you know now, that is form for registration in school, form of registration in any sports club, form of registration in any of the institution, or just the form for getting online pizza or something else like. Understood, children? Form for applications form. So these are the forms. If you just forget to fill any of the field, so this will make you alert immediately to do not leave the form with empty fields. Understood? So this is what an error message should be generated, alert message should be generated, and form should not be submitted in such cases. The most common form of JavaScript application today is client-side script, which runs inside a web browser. It is used to validate the data entered in HTML form on the client side before sending it to the server. Have you got it, children? Hopefully, I think you are understanding. Using JavaScript, the form is generally checked for the following things. Number 1, has the user left any required field empty? Has the user entered a valid email address? Number 3, check whether contents of two fields are same or not. Number 4, has the user entered a valid data? Here with alphabets, special characters and digits are required to fill. So, is that the user has done? Has the user entered text in numeric data field? And say for example, in the quantity field instead of number data, user entered text. Students, let us first learn how to write a JavaScript code. Thus, the JavaScript code can be put directly inside the HTML program. JavaScript code runs from within the HTML web page. The web page code has a separate section. The JavaScript code is inserted into an HTML page using the script open and script close tag contains a JavaScript code. Children, using source view of Composer, display the statement in the browser, hello my dearest students, this statement. Okay, now save the file using file menu and save option. Give the page title to be displayed in the title bar of the browser screen and press OK. Suppose we give the title JavaScript example 1, save the file with the proper name. Click on source view of Composer or select view in that HTML source. Here we have to add coding. This coding which I have displayed on screen, HTML, head, title, JavaScript example 1, title closed. Script type is equals to text, JavaScript. Document dot write, hello students. Script closed, head closed, BR means break, body closed and HTML closed. Output on the screen you can see hello students is given. Children, you can see the inside the script tag we have written a single statement, document dot write, hello my dear students. Now I explain the program. Here write is a method which is a part of document object. String to be displayed or line to be displayed is passed as variable to method document dot write bracket open and closed. The semicolon seen here as the end of the statement is optional in JavaScript. The semicolon is used as a mark of separation rather than termination. Thus, if you place each statement on a new line, then you need not to put a semicolon. In our example, even if we remove the semicolon after the document write statement, the result would be same. However, putting a semicolon is a good programming practice. The output of the code as seen in the browser is shown. Hopefully you understood, children.